Ned Nwoko says he feels sorry for men that marry only one wife. Now, he's actually saying that he feels like marrying a lot, or involving yourself in polygamous marriages actually brings a lot of balance. And he compared it to standing on one foot. And he feels like maybe when you stand on one foot, it's a bit difficult. But when you are able to at least have 3 or 4 wives, which he likened to maybe standing on 4 foot, it brings a lot of balance into your life. So he feels very sorry for you or anyone that is probably in a monogamous relationship. And this has triggered a lot of perspective and ideas with regards to polygamy and monogamy.
You marry 4 wives. That's almost impossible. Isn't it?
That's another
kettle
another topic for
we need a lecture on how you can be able to achieve that.
Every man should do that. Every man should do that.
The Bible does not prescribe that.
Oh, the Old Testament does. The example I gave is this, just imagine telling you to stand on 1 foot, on 1 leg. You know how difficult it is. But to stand on 2, 3, 4 is much more balanced. That's just the example I gave.
Wow.
Do you understand it? So I feel sorry for those who have 1 wife, because it's difficult to stand on 1 leg.
Now, before it used to be like the cultural values of our African principles and values during our grandfathers' days. We used to hear a lot of polygamous relationship where our grandfathers married 3, 4 and had a lot of children. It wasn't really about lust, but it was more to do with building a legacy and then some kind of a masculine strength and actually holding the family together if you are able to actually provide for your family. But the system has changed. I don't know about you though, but I feel like we've sort of transcended that kind of era that now there's a lot of, I don't know how to put it, but some are religious, some are particularly people believe that it's not appropriate to actually involve yourself in polygamous marriage. Well, when it comes to religion, it depends on the type of religion you belong to, because some religions are open to polygamous marriages. But with regards to what Ned Nwoko is saying, it's really put in perspective a lot of things with regards to whether if you are in the position to actually have that kind of financial resources, you'll be able to sort of take care of more women or marry more wives to sort of bring sort of balance into the whole system, because some women might not necessarily even have husband, not to talk about even husband that might not be responsible. So he being a man that can actually provide, he's a billionaire. And with that regards, he has that financial responsibility. He's very capable to actually provide for the family. So when he speaks that way, it sort of makes sense in a certain sense. But is it possible for someone that earns an average salary, someone that's perhaps, someone was actually saying on X that it's also possible for someone that's struggling to pay their rent to actually also involve themselves in a polygamous marriage and actually have that balance that Ned Nwoko is referring to? Charlie, looking at how demanding economic situations have become in this particular era, I don't know about previously, but what I can have experience with is the era that we live in. Economic situations are quite tough. We are earning maybe 3 times, 4 times of what our parents used to earn, that their lives were better, but still most of us are actually finding means to actually make sure that whatever we are earning, that we even feel is better than what our parents used to earn, actually is able to sustain us. So the economic situation generally has a lot of toll on people. Okay, so if you are someone that's an average earner that's going to sort of practice this kind of lifestyle that Ned Nwoko is actually proposing, I don't know about you. Do you think that it's visible in a sort of way? But is it possible for all of us to sort of involve ourselves in a polygamous marriage, looking at how demanding that sometimes the economy has become? Because you have to take care of your family, you have to take care of kids. If you marry even 2 women, then the idea of having to actually even, let's say you give even one child to each woman, then you have to take them to school. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And most people are not even able to hold their homes when they marry only 1 woman. Okay, so I think with this thing, it's rather a bit dicey, okay, when you look at it from comparing how our cultural values used to be back then and then how things actually are. And culture, they say, is dynamic. So I don't know how relatable it is, or it's only for specific kind of people that are doing well financially in the society. But then again, to the whole idea of actually staying with a lot of women itself, I mean, come on, let's be real, let's be honest here. It's not always going to be easy. Okay, it's not always going to be easy because all of them will come with their demands. Okay, sexually, financially, even in terms of attention. You need to sort of calibrate everything perfectly so that it doesn't look like you are favoring someone, because you know how sometimes human beings are naturally territorial when they like what they like. And it's I don't know how he does it, because the presenter then the presenter, the Byzantine, how is he able to do it? Because the presenter was actually saying that even he is married to one woman and it's not easy. So how is he able to meddle, I mean, combine that kind of the feminine energy with this kind of 4 women and be able to be successful at it? He said that, oh, it's normal to him. It's the best way. And he feels like if you're married to one woman, you are actually missing out. And he feels very, very sorry for anyone that is married to just one woman. Look, it do add some of these stories. It's good as it lasts, because I mean the media aspect is there. When I mean everybody, the media aspect, when people are on the media, they present the good side of their life, because obviously we all want to put our best foot forward. But if you're looking at it realistically, okay, there are emotional demands. Okay, let's take away the romantic aspect. That it takes a lot of emotional maturity for women to actually coexist in the same environment when they are married to one woman, one man. Okay, it takes a lot of emotional maturity, and it depends on the woman that you are going in for, because how are you going to sort of, I mean, manage these kind of emotions rightly? Unless you are a billionaire and you can actually use money to compensate for certain lack of attention for certain people. Okay, so let's say maybe no matter what, how you look at it, he might have 4 wives, but at a specific time, perhaps he might have some of them that he actually is his favorites. He can't like all of them the same. I mean, even temperament and how he perceives them, all the wives. Some of them might have certain behavioral patterns that will make him, I mean, feel like he's more appreciative, or he likes one particular wife more. So let's say he's being a bit biased with regards to that, and one other wife has actually seen that he's doing a bit of favoritism. At least when you are a billionaire, you can use the money to sort of, for a lack of a better word, bribe the other person to actually stay in character and then keep the home. But how will it work out if you're an average earner? It's a bit difficult for me. So I don't really know whether it's something that as a society we should look at, that when people hit certain threshold when it comes to their finances, they should be allowed without societal judgments, that they are able to actually marry maybe 3 or 4 women to balance the equation. Because most men are currently in our side of the world don't have the capacity to actually meddle, I mean, combine 2 women even at the same time, even one, and the demands that comes with it, Charlie. It's something else. So this particular issue, I don't know what you think, but I think that it goes a bit deeper in reality. When you're looking at it from his perspective, it's perfect, because from where he's coming from, he's very well to do, and then he can actually provide for the family. So with regards to that, I think certain things are not so difficult. But then it raises a question, because quite recently there was a serious issue between Ned Nwoko and Regina Daniels, who happens to be his last wife. I don't know how the relationship is going now, but it looks like it has ended on rocks from the last update that I had with regards to their development. And it's alleged that there were even certain cases of abuse. That's what Regina Daniels was saying, that she was being abused by the husband, and which the husband has clearly denied that he doesn't touch women and he's not that kind of man and all that. So it wasn't like it was all rosy, because initially when Regina Daniels got married to Ned Nwoko, everything looked rosy. I mean, the postings and everything. I mean, even some of the young girls were actually dreaming to be in her position, because he made it look so presentable. Until recently, it came on the limelight that there's actually no peace in the house, and that she's having issues with regards to how the husband is treating her. Well, the husband also came, and then he clearly said that Regina Daniels was actually on substance abuse, and he feels like sometimes because of the drugs that she takes, it's kind of distorted her perception and the way she lives in the house. That's why it's causing the problem. So it's her allegations of the husband, that's Ned Nwoko, actually beating her and all that might be an issue of her, the result of her taking medications or drugs. And well, everybody's saying their part. We don't expect that somebody will admit that they were wrong, but I mean, that's what is happening. So it doesn't really look that it's as rosy as, he presented it. It's not as easy as that, because there might be reasons why maybe even the other wives that are left, the three wives, might also have their issues that perhaps they have managed to actually keep it below the limelight. Because Regina Daniels was obviously someone that was in the media, so it's easier for her issues to come out. But how about other wives that perhaps they are not really media inclined people? Maybe they might also have issues. I'm not saying they have, but they might, because from how Regina Daniels' issue came, it could be that there are issues. Because, like I'm saying, the emotional factor, having to actually, if you take out the romantic aspect, the maturity that requires for three women to live together, even if they go these universities and institutions like tertiary institutions, even women, when they share the same room together or they stay in the same house, it doesn't always end well. Even that one, that it's not necessarily like they're actually having a common goal or they have a partner that they indirectly feel like they have to compete for. It doesn't always end well. So imagine actually having women in the same house that, Charlie, they are all actually married to the same husband. It takes a lot to actually keep the house together. And I think Mr. Ned Nwoko is very good at that. At least, he has done a good job. And he clearly is very okay with that. And sometimes I believe that it's all about what works for someone. He's a fully blown adult. He decides what works for him. And we should allow him to actually exercise his right as a human being. But then again, I honestly think that it's very subjective. Okay, if you feel like you're in the position to actually have the financial backing and then to actually take care and be responsible to the woman that you actually add up, or be polygamous in a certain sense, that's fine. It's a personal decision. But then if you're an average earner and then you are combining some of these things and you have dreams to chase and all that, perhaps you might have to reconsider this whole advice that Mr. Ned Nwoko is giving and realize that sometimes not everything that works for someone particularly can work for you and I. But yeah, and from the woman perspective, I don't know how they will feel about this, because most women, they would like to actually have their own man. Okay, they would like to actually feel like this man belongs to me. Well, it's easier to say that, especially when you build the kind of legacy that the person has with him. Okay, his rise to the top, you were there to a certain level. Well, then the case is in a certain way, it's right. Okay, but when the person has actually worked his way to the top and then he's coming to marry, sometimes it comes with their own terms and conditions, and sometimes the women have to actually go with the flow. Okay, so I don't think particularly, generally, and realistically, let's be honest, man, no woman would like to share their husband with another woman if everything being equal. Yeah, and then it doesn't always end well, like I said, but sometimes when money is involved, there are compensations that sometimes makes these things a bit bearable. But if you don't get money, the video go talk, see, hide your face. You find one. Okay, be me for advise somebody. You can actually try what he's doing and then learn from it if you want to. We can all learn from our experiences. So if you think that what advice that he's given, personally, I don't know what you think, but if you think it's something that perhaps will work for you, you can give it a shot and see how it goes. But personally, I think when you're on a certain financial level, that kind of life is too risky. It's too risky. So I don't know what you think. Do you think that this whole polygamous initiation, or this whole polygamous, the call for being a polygamous husband or being able to marry a lot of wives, do you think it's for an average earner, or it's actually something that is more conducive for billionaires or millionaires or people that are financially very capable to actually take in more wives and then be responsible in every sense that you can look at it. Charlie, that's what is happening with regards to Ned Nwoko's claim that if you're a man and then you have one wife, he feels sorry for you because, Charlie, you are missing out big time. Hey, Charlie, the man here enjoy you. Anyway, with that one said, I'll end today's edition of Social Media Updates here. The name remains Donald, not Trump. I'll see you on the other side. Peace.